Now, KCAU 9 News starts with your forecast first.
Hey, good evening, Siouxland. We've been seeing a sunset that's still showing some peaks of it out by Wayne, but overall conditions have been pretty clear and quiet throughout much of the daytime. Now, the evening will bring some changes, as we've already seen some changes across the viewing area, with temperatures falling now to the 40s and more into the 30s up further north. As I'll let you know if these 30s then drop below the freezing point, and if we're expecting some snow to start off Saturday, as KCAU 9 News starts right now.
We are Siouxland proud. This is KCAU 9 News at 6.
And thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Tim Seaman.
And I'm Betsy Singer. A local connection tonight to Hurricane Melissa. As we know, that storm left a trail of devastation across Jamaica and Cuba.
And for one local woman, that storm hit close to home. KCAU 9 reporter Josie Coombe is live in studio with us tonight. She has our top story at 6. Josie?
Thanks, Tim and Betsy. The Category 5 hurricane tore through the island with winds of 185 miles per hour. It's the strongest storm to hit Jamaica in decades.
Melissa may have struck over a week ago, but thousands are without power, clean water, or essentials they may need. And the impact the hurricane has made has reached well beyond the Caribbean, as a woman at home feels the heartbreak and the anxiety from miles away.
There's not a lot of necessities. You know, the essentials that you and I take for granted: toothbrush, toothpaste, the ability to go wash yourself, you know, to do the things that your day-to-day care. There's nothing there. I think was my biggest concern, still is, their inability to provide for themselves.
During the hurricane, many of her family's homes were destroyed, but for her brother, the situation became a lot worse.
They lived in in the area called Catherine in Montego Bay, and they were just walking around, and as he's walking back to his home, the river burst. So he had to go on top of his house. He lost, when I say everything he lost, the only thing he saved was the clothes on his back.
What Munson didn't expect was her friends rallying to her side as she prepares to go see her family.
So I do have close friends that are helping, just to make sure that I have what I need in order to make that first trip to go down to help them.
Looking forward, she has a positive outlook about the future ahead for her family and her native country.
But Jamaica, we have a motto, out of many, one people. And so I think that Jamaica resiliency and the people resiliency and their ability to work hard, I think will prevail. And I think they will, you know, be able to get the help that they need.
Munson plans to travel to Jamaica with gifts from her friends later this week, but there's a long road left to recovery. Live from the studio, Josie Coombe, KCAU 9 News.
All right, Josie, thanks for that. Well, as part of a proposal going before the Sioux City City Council on Monday, 2 new Little League fields could be coming to the city. Knife River Midwest is planning an extensive rebuild and expansion of its Sioux City facility located near the Union Pacific Railroad, just off of Hawkeye Drive. Now, the council is expected to consider both leasing and selling additional land in the area to that road paving company. According to city documents, that includes the $700,000 sale of the headed Little League complex. Knife River would also contribute $500,000 in cash or $750,000 of in-kind work toward construction of those new ball fields. A new rail yard and lead spur, also part of the proposal, and would be built along the southern edge of the city's 18th Street campus. Now, Knife River says that the multi-year project will add 20 jobs locally and include a major capital investment. Earlier this year, City Council denied a rezoning request by the business for expansion at a different location.
Well, we are getting new reaction tonight from leaders in the Sergeant Bluff Luton Community School District after voters this week again rejected their proposed $37 million improvement bond. Advocates of the bond say they need this money to demolish the nearly century-old primary building with hopes of replacing it to construct a new modern facility. School district officials say that they had been diligently working on the bond initiative for an extended period of time. However, the measure ultimately garnered 59.6% of the vote. That is 0.4%, just shy of the 60% needed for it to pass.
It's really disappointing. We've come a long ways in the last couple of years. Prior to my arrival, the highest the district had gotten was 47%. The last two bond elections, we've gotten 55.5% and almost 60%. So to be so close is really disappointing.
While this week's election didn't give them the win that they had hoped for, Jansen does say the district is planning to do another push for next November's election.
Let's check back in with Chief Meteorologist Victor Perez tonight. And Victor, it looks like football fans tonight will be out in the cold a bit, but boy, you're talking about worse than that for teams on Saturday.
That it will be. Any folks out on Saturday, whether they be playing football or just braving the elements, will definitely be facing something much different. This evening, even though the game is not outdoors, at least for the Sports Zone game of the week, we'll be seeing the temperatures are going to be chilly if you're by any chance heading out the door right now. And you'll see that on the end of the game. We're looking a little bit cloudier as we're keeping our eye on the first snow in Sioux City. Now, historically, that is on November 9th, which would be on Sunday, but we're just getting it a little bit early instead on November 8th, as I'll let you know how much snow we're expecting for the day on Saturday. Tim?
All right, Victor, thanks. Well, here's an elegant way to ring in the new year and help advance the arts in Sioux City. The Sioux City Arts Center announcing today their first ever New Year's Eve bash. It's titled Shooting Stars and Champagne Bars. That celebration will feature a silent disco, late night bites, and the classic midnight toast. Art Center staff telling us proceeds from the event will go toward a new exhibition endowment. Tickets are still available, and if you'd like more information about the bash, just go to the story on our website, SiouxlandProud.com. Well, in an effort to raise awareness of homelessness, several people are trading in their warm beds for a box or a tent outside tonight.
And it's going to be chilly. It's all part of the annual Siouxland Sleep Out, and it's taking place tonight. KCAU 9 News reporter Alex Rivero is live in Cone Park with the very latest. Hi, Alex.
That's right, Tim and Betsy. The Sleep Out has been going on since 2005, and it's held outside to help those camping understand the conditions that many of the unhoused go through this time of year. It's an event that attracts around 300 people. There's also going to be a silent and online auction being held inside that consists of tickets, paintings, and much more. All proceeds go to help the unhoused in the Siouxland area. Live music starts at 7 o'clock, about an hour from now. But if you can't make it tonight, be sure to leave a donation at SiouxlandSleepout.com. Reporting live from Cone Park, Alex Rivero, KCAU 9 News.
Looks like a very wonderful time tonight, and things warmer with that fire. Nominations are now open for KCAU's 2026 Remarkable Woman Recognition Award. Every year we ask people from throughout the Siouxland region to nominate a woman who is making an extraordinary effort to help their community. You can nominate someone by going to our website, SiouxlandProud.com. Go to the Contests tab and click Nominate a Remarkable Woman.
Well, coming up later tonight in sports, high school playoff football resumes in all three Siouxland states tonight.
The lineup includes a championship game for one Nebraska team. Anthony will preview that and the rest of tonight's postseason play coming up after weather.
And folks, I'll be letting you know about the wet and snowy Saturday for the region, the big chill moving in, and a clearing and warming work week, all if you're not on 9 after the break.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Tim Seaman, Betsy Singer, Chief Meteorologist Victor Perez, and Sports Director Anthony Mitchell. This is KCAU 9 News at 6. And now with Siouxland's most accurate forecast, Chief Meteorologist Victor Perez.
Well, Siouxland, a quiet and dark evening across the region as we've already seen that sunset. Taking a look out from the Ho-Chunk Center, you can see it looking pretty bright and lit up out there as we see the temperatures are currently at 44 degrees with winds from the north at 11 miles per hour. So we're going to start to feel a little bit cooler with most of central and northern portions of the viewing area starting to be affected by wind chills, and actually now even our southern counties, as they were holding off in the 50s, but over the last hour they've dropped into the 40s as well as we see 30s further north. So definitely chillier conditions where the weak front has begun to move in already. Right now, winds between 5 to 15 miles per hour. Those have been dropping. We're seeing less winds reaching up to 20, and that's the similar case for the wind gusts as well, as most of the viewing area now has wind gusts under 15 and 20 miles per hour. So we're starting to settle down a little bit, but that doesn't mean that our wind chills are going to feel any better, because most of Siouxland, with temperatures dropping down into the 40s, feel like the 30s, and we're starting to see some 20s already. 29 for feels like in Esterville, 30 in Sheldon, as well as Orange City and Spencer, and we do start to feel a little bit better. Orange City is feeling like, well, excuse me, getting twisted around there. Sioux City feeling like 38 degrees, and we see that that's the case also in Wayne, with 40s reported on down south as well. You'll see the looping radar showing conditions that have been clear and quiet throughout the daytime for much of the eastern plains and extending through the Midwest, but over the last couple hours we've started to see more and more clouds expanding off the Rockies, and those will continue to make their way further east, as this will be what gives us a little bit of trouble in the coming hours. Here we got the stormcast showing those clouds continuing to become a little bit more overcast, and then when we got about 1 to 2 in the morning, we start to see some showers out to our far west and northern portions of the viewing area. Both types of precipitation, though, sadly, seeing some rain showers as well as some mixed and snow closer towards the Sioux Falls metro. And then as temperatures dip, we start to see a steadier transition from rain showers to mixed precipitation, primarily for northeastern portions of the viewing area, while closer towards the I-29 corridor. We'll have to keep an eye on it, as we do see some slight icing trying to occur as well, as then those showers make their way through the morning hours, so that by the late morning and early afternoon, we're looking a little bit drier with a few more scattered showers popping up through the early evening hours. But you'll notice with the second half of the stormcast, conditions will be drier afterwards. Right now, rain totals for the viewing area showing that most of Siouxland expecting a few quarters of an inch, and there are some spots in the areas that see a little bit more rain through northeast Nebraska that see closer towards a half inch instead, as we'll be seeing that the heaviest rain will be situated further east, but the snow totals will be inverse. So we'll actually see that areas to our southwest will be seeing some of the lowest snow totals, while out to our north and east, we start to see snow totals upwards of 2.5, 3.5 inches even, as areas closer towards the I-29 corridor are expected to be between an inch and 2.5 inches actually now. So this is greatly increased compared to what we were talking about 24 hours ago, because we've seen a shift in the system pushing a little bit further south and west as the colder air has moved in more steadily for the region. So that'll be a concern, as afterwards we see that conditions look to be drier and clearing rapidly through the day on Saturday into Sunday morning. So we're seeing clear skies to kick off the start of next week, and with those clear skies, it's going to be chilly to start the day on Sunday, and sadly we won't be warming either as well. You'll see on the 9 on 9 that we're expecting cool conditions as we go forward into next work week. Temperatures tonight dropping to the low 30s, north wind shifting to become a little bit more eastern. We see those increasing clouds, and showers after midnight will really be dependent on how cool the temperatures drop tonight. That where you'll start to see some snow further north, as temperatures tomorrow stay under 40 degrees here in Sioux City. So chilly daytime with those mixed precipitation showers expected through the morning and a slight break in the afternoon. It's through Sunday that we see that temperatures won't be on the rise, starting off in the low 20s and rising to low 30s only, and then dropping to teens to start the work week. So for any folks heading back to work on Monday or kids heading out to school, make sure you're bundled up, as it will be our chilliest start of the season, as afterwards conditions then warm up and clear out. But until then, we're really keeping an eye on tomorrow, especially for any folks that have any early morning plans. Going to want to make sure to be cautious on the roads.
At least it won't be during morning rush hour, though, like a weekday.
That is the silver lining. So for folks that get up a little bit later, I think they'll be all right.
All right. Thanks, Victor. Up next, a live update from this year's All-Nations Football Championship. Winnebago is looking to end the year with a big win.
Plus, a look ahead at some of college football's biggest games tomorrow, including LSU and Alabama.
This is KCAU 9 News.
Another big weekend of college football kicks off tomorrow, including right here on KCAU 9.
ESPN's Reese Davis and Desmond Howard have a preview of the games that will air tomorrow.
What a day of games on ABC. It starts in Lubbock, where they started camping out Sunday night to get into the game. Yeah. Texas Tech and BYU, Desmond.
Strength on strength. When you look at BYU's offensive line, they take a lot of pride in being physical and moving bodies. They want to run the ball, and they're going to get their running back too. L.J. Martin, he leads the league in rushing, but going up against Texas Tech's defense, that front seven, one of the best in the nation. I can't wait to watch that matchup.
L.J. Martin at one time committed to Texas Tech. Now a great running back for BYU. Texas A&M and Missouri play in the afternoon window, 3:30 Eastern time. Aggies still unbeaten, road test there.
Tell you what, you look at the Aggies, offensively explosive, dynamic, but defensively they struggle against the run. You're looking at a Missouri team about to start a freshman quarterback in Matt Zollers. What you want to do, feed the ball to Ahmad Hardy. He's one of the top running backs in the nation. Time of possession is going to be key for Missouri if they're going to stay in this game against the Aggies.
All right, LSU, after dismissing Brian Kelly, goes into Tuscaloosa to take on Alabama, 7:30 Eastern.
You know, RD, you mentioned it. Brian Kelly was dismissed. This is our first time to see the Tigers take the field since he's been dismissed. I want to see if that absence, the absence of the head coach, galvanizes this team on the road against a team, Alabama Crimson Tide, that they despise.
Yeah, they do for sure. And over the years, LSU, oddly enough, has had a little more success in Tuscaloosa than at home against the Tide.
All right, we'll see what happens with LSU, especially they're struggling this year. As Anthony is back on the road a couple days with volleyball, but turning the page on the sport tonight.
It feels good to be home. We had Iowa volleyball earlier in the week. Now to Nebraska volleyball. 3 local teams remain in title contention. Plus, we'll have a look at our Sports Zone football game of the week taking place at the Dakota Dome. Here's a live look in Vermillion. We'll have our preview from the sidelines up next in sports.
Now, KCAU 9 Sports.
Welcome back. Just a few teams remain in title contention at the Nebraska High School Volleyball State Tournament in Lincoln, including the top-seeded Why Not Blue Devils in Class D2. They've got a chance to advance to the program's second-ever state title match with a win here against number 4 Dundee County Stratton. Both teams coming off first-round sweeps. Why Not comes into the day on an 11-match win streak. Tigers take the first set. Blue Devils lead the second set 24-20. Great back and forth from both teams. DCS running out of room under the net. Why Not evens the match at 1 set apiece. Why Not wins set 2, taking control in the third frame, up 23-9. Serve from Jordan Foxhoven. No response. Blue Devils take the set 25-12. Match point. Why Not Tigers kill, sailing out of play. Why Not books its ticket to the title match with a 3-1 win. They'll face Cambridge in tomorrow's state championship at 9 a.m. Now to a wild Class C2 bracket where 3 of the top 4 seeds lost in the quarterfinals. Number 6 LCC battles number 7 Oakland Craig. Set point for LCC up 24-23. Knights coming up with a dig. Bears going to reload here, and it's Kata Erickson there with the hammer. Bears claim the opening set. Laurel Concord Coleridge goes up 2-0. Oakland Craig continues to battle. Briar Ray bringing the heat. College of St. Mary commit keeping the Knights in it. One of her match-high 22 kills to cut the deficit. Now it's match point Bears. An ace is going to end it here from Tyler Rakob. Bears book its ticket to the state title match with a sweep of OC. LCC will face number 4 Freeman in the C2 final. That's at 1 p.m. Well, many of our Siouxland High School football teams just one win away from earning a spot at state, but tonight, an opportunity for our first champion to be crowned. One of the many exciting headlines in our Sports Zone game of the week. Joining us now from the friendly confines of the Dakota Dome is our own Alexander Huddleston with a look at the matchup. Alexander, good evening.
What's going on, Anthony? Yeah, no, it's really exciting here at the Dakota Dome. It's actually my first time here, so I'm excited about that. But I'm also excited because we get to watch the All-Nations Championship between the undefeated 9-0, number 1 top-seeded Winnebago Indians versus the number 2 seeded 8-1 Todd County Falcons. Now, these teams met earlier this year, a little bit of over a month ago, where Winnebago beat Todd County 38-8. But it's a new day, and these teams came to play. Let's take a dive into some of these teams showing up today. The Indians have made this game the last 2 years, but never came out on top. This year, they look to change that. All season, they have dominated their opponents, outscoring them 469-70. Their offense is led by a 1-2 punch of Adarius Flemister and Raiden Decora. The Bruisers are responsible for over 1,600 yards on the ground, plus another 250 receiving, along with 38 total touchdowns. The defense has racked up 16 sacks, 49 tackles for loss, and have taken the ball away 30 times. But let's talk about the challengers. Todd County's only loss of the year comes from Bago, but they outscored all of their opponents 327 to 118, leaving 3 opponents scoreless. This offense, a little more balanced, but still very run-heavy, with nearly 800 yards through the air and nearly 2,000 yards on the ground. The key player, Bane Yellow Eagle. The junior has over 1,100 yards with 16 touchdowns on the ground, and leading receiver, Anya Whirlwind Soldier, with 492 yards and 10 touchdowns on only 13 catches. Now, this game kicks off in a little bit, probably about an hour, because this game just wrapped up behind me. But I'll have highlights tonight at 10, so make sure you stay tuned for that. From the Dakota Dome, I'm Alexander Huddleston. Sending it back to you, Anthony.
All right, Alexander, thanks so much. We actually do have some early playoff scores to report here. Crofton takes down Hemingford 60-12, while Wynot upsets Hitchcock County on the road 43-12. So 2 wins starting the night off for Siouxland in the right direction.
Be sure to watch tonight at 10 for all of the latest. Thanks, Anthony. As we head to break right now, here's a live look outside with our Ottawa cam. We'll get a final check on weather with Victor when we come back.
We mentioned earlier, we talked a lot about football tonight, one of the last nights, and you expect it to be cool, but tomorrow is much more than cool.
It's going to be a little bit of a frosty weekend, and more so because we're expecting our first snow of the season. Now, that will start up after midnight tonight with some scattered showers and some mixed precipitation as temperatures fall to the low 30s. We'll see that daytime highs tomorrow only rise into the 30s for most of the region, and there'll be a couple of 40s, but the bigger note is the mixed precip that's expected through the morning hours leading up into the early afternoon. Now, afterwards, we'll see that we don't get a break, at least for Sunday, because daytime highs stay near the freezing point on Sunday, but our conditions will improve as we see sunshine, and that sunshine brings warming temperatures through the rest of the upcoming week. So we will be back to seasonal. We just got to keep an eye out for tomorrow's snow, especially for any early risers hitting the road early on Saturday.
Oh, don't let the weather scare you.
No.
That's not going to accumulate too much. Thanks so much for watching tonight.